Okay, so before we add the jump combos, we actually need to create the animations. And I know I should probably have done that while offline, but there's a few cases that you might want to see something that it wasn't really clear. Okay, so let's do or else I guess. Let's say jump attack 1, jump attack 1, and in here now, let's go fix the animations. Let's find the frames first of all, which will be inside all else. And we will start from this frame. This frame, it's very simple as you can see. So this, and then you just land back to the attack. There is a little bit of another special attack, which is this one, where you're actually going back to jump again. And I'll show you a trick about that later. Okay, so there's this. And let's fix the frames. The first frame will play like that, and this frame will stay a lot. And then we're now actually going to be using the root motion, but we're going to want to start from, let's see how high we are getting, 0.5. Yeah, I'll start with 0.5. Mikey, and let's say 0.5. Then here, oops, sprite renders will be 0.5. This will be 0. Depth, but it should be on the X, it should be 4, maybe even 5, up till here. So let's move this one over here, and of course he should be going down in a straight line. Okay, and I'm actually going to change this one now into, I actually want to change both of them, the X, and I'm going to make it linear, and same with this, linear, so it's a straight line, so it feels more forceful. So the Z of this, let's select both of our frames, both thousands, linear. Okay, so on our dope sheet, we should make this faster then. Way too slow, and doesn't feel that powerful. I think it's way too fast now. Maybe way too up. So let's maybe do 0.4. It's not bad, it's a little bit noisy. That's what I don't like. That's a slightly better. Maybe we cheat it a little bit and have him fall first, and then save it. and then move him slightly a little bit forward as well. Yeah, okay, it will work for now. So up till here, then close your health box, and in here open your hitbox, and let's maybe make it slightly bigger. Okay, up till here, I'd say. There we have your first jump attack. So how do we add this then? The jump attack will go back to locomotion, so that's the first, at least, jump attack will go back to locomotion, so that's the easy part. So now we need to code that when we are on jump, we actually want to be loading a different set of actions. So let's go onto our unit controller, and we have these actions that we're going to be calling the default actions. But I'm going to also want to have an action data where we're going to be saying current action data. Then let's do it like this. I'm going to duplicate that. Then actually no, yeah, let's do it like this. Okay, so current action data, we can then load them. So let's do public void load action data a, then current action data equals a. We want to do a public void reset action data, and that will set the current action data to the action data we hold or the actions we have above. Okay, we can rename them to default actions or idle actions or whatever you want to call them. Then when we say detect action, where we have over here, we're simply going to say, instead of looking at the default actions, just use current actions. Then there's two ways to do this. We could create a list of actions in here, I guess, or a container. But you know what? I kind of want to do this dirty because it's a very simple game, so it doesn't matter, and we don't have to complicate this that much. So let's say on scripts, let's say on our behavior, let's add a script, let's say force action data or load action data. I want to say load action data, not load action. So let's delete this one. Come on. The fact that one misclick makes you wait is beyond me. Anyway, so load action data. Okay, then let's delete all of that. The same can be worked with for the enemies. So, okay. Here's the thing with this, however. The thing with this is that we might have to be searching through... Yeah, that's not great actually. Because we might have to be searching through... Yeah, through the animator just to set up a few actions. So let's call this, let's do something, let's think of this through. Okay, let's simplify. So let's going to say action data holders. Okay, delete this namespace. So action data holder, let's make this into scriptable object. First of all, let's say create asset main. Then in here, we're going to say, we're going to create another class which we're going to say data holder or action container. And we're going to save the action data in here, actions. Okay, then we're going to need identifier into this. So actions ID, then public actions container actions. Now, because we're going to be doing a string comparison, we might want to save this into a dictionary. The other way around this is to basically not do a string comparison because we only have simple actions. So let's ignore that, and we're just going to be using an index. We're going to be using the index. So we're going to be saying public actions container or just action data get actions integer index. Then we're going to be using return actions index dot actions. And this needs to be an array, yeah. Okay, then on our unit controller, the actions or current actions data now, we will have the public index actions index and the action data holder. Action data holder. Okay, then let's delete this, and unfortunately we have to delete the default actions as well. So the current action data now will be get return action data holder dot get actions via the actions index. Okay, 0 will be the default one. So this gives us some issues because instead of loading action data, we're going to be changing the index here. So actions index reset. It's going to be setting up the actions index back to 0. So that's simply it. We might not even use this. So back to load action data, we're going to use a public integer action index. Then we can simply either store the unit controller. So we can say if owner is not null, if owner is null, then owner equals animator get component in parent unit controller. Okay, then unit controller dot set of owner set or load action data action index. Okay, so this will be loading a new set of actions for us to do. So let's go and fix that. Let's see what that this contains. And yeah, the AI handler now is actually complaining a little bit because we do not have the actions. But a way around this would be to just do, well, you know what, for the AI handler right now, let's just not do this because we will have to fix a new current action anyway. Let's fix the player first, then we care about it. But first, let's say load action data on index. I'm just going to set it to 1. We will know that 1 is the jump attacks. I think there's only 2 states, tops 3 states, I believe, that you can play other animations, so whatever. So on locomotion, we're going to be back to 0. Okay, so let's set up the attacks as well. Let's create a new folder where we're going to say data, and let's create, no, sorry, Explorer. Let's create action data holder. Let's say player actions. Okay, what we forgot to make this system.serializable. Okay, so we simply have to fix what we have actually changed. So we need to say attack 1 is light, damage about 10 is deterministic, and say attack. Then attack 2, same thing, let's say whatever, is heavy and is jump, not jump, up and attack. Okay, so element 1, let's add a string into this just so that we can read actions ID, just so that to help ourselves so that we know what we're doing. We also need to add the add over here. Okay, is deterministic, attack 2, then let's actually this is not attack 2, so this one is light, 0 is not deterministic, and it's only the jump. This is the jump attack. No, this is not jump attack, this is up attack, which is this case. Okay, so attack 1, up attack with up and attack, okay, and jump with jump, and it's not deterministic. Then while we are on jump, we're going to have 2 jump attacks. Both will be heavy, let's say damage 5, and let's say they are deterministic because it's either jump. Actually, no, we don't care if they are deterministic. And we're going to have a second jump attack as well, but we do not have the animation made yet, so I'm simply going to do this. And they will play the same animation just to see that we can attack with either of these. Okay, so assign this onto the player, the action data. So we have our player actions, save it, hit play, and let's see it working. Our normal attacks are working fine, and the up is working fine, and then I can jump and attack like this. Perfect, right? And the second attack actually works as well. Perfect. That's more than perfect, actually. That's really cool. So that's half the game, but I think they are doing bigger jumps. Like this attack is not that exactly the same. Let's add the second attack. Let's create it, and I'm going to simply copy paste this, call it jump attack 2, and add it here. Then this attack now has one small change, I'd say. It's not exactly the same as the first attack, in a sense that there is only one frame, and actually if you hit with this frame, if you hit it, let's say sprite renderer, I'm going to delete all of these frames. And actually if you hit here, it's going to go back to the jump, not the idle. So we should have now an interrupt source. Okay, so the simple way to do this is go back to action data and say the action data itself, public bool on hit override my animation. Public bool my override animation, and public float crossfade time. Okay, Then on damage collide, on hit, we have the last action, we have all of that. Let's see till we are okay. But if okay, for that to work, we also need to change. We need to be passing who is attacking you, because we want access to the attacker. Okay, then on hit, on damage collider, we need to be passing the owner. Perfect. Okay, then if last, is it last action? If action data dot on hit override my animation, then attacker play animation action data my override animation. That's a bool. We need a string here. So let's change one small thing over here and let's do float crossfade time. Let's set this to 0, but we also want this to change and oops, and go inside play animation and let's do crossfade time, and we're going to say if crossfade time is greater than 0.01f, then you're going to do a crossfade, otherwise you're going to just play anim dot then crossfade in fixed time now, and fixed time is actually not playing in a correct position and not playing the entire animation, but it will actually into D it will actually skip frames. So we can just say play the jump animation and skip 2 frames, something like that. It should work something like that, but let's see, because we can never know for sure until we try. Okay, so action data now, skip or action anim crossfade time. Perfect. So let's add the second jump attack. Let's see the frames first of all for this. Jump attack 2. Yeah, I'd make it a little bit faster. Whatever. You can barely see what's happening, however. Okay, then on to our data. Player action, then let's see. On jump, now jump attack 2, on hit override my animation. My override animation will be jump, and crossfade, let's do 0.4. I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see. And that kind of worked, but it doesn't play the crossfade. It doesn't do the crossfade apparently, or it doesn't do it fast enough. Let's say 1. Yeah, okay, it doesn't work. Apparently it doesn't work because, oh yeah, I know why it doesn't work, because we're not passing it on the unit controller. Oh, we are passing it. Attacker, play animation. No. Yeah, we're not passing it here. Okay, that kind of worked. It's of course too much. That's pretty cool. You can see that we are actually jumping. We can maybe say, give it a little bit more. Can even do higher. Let's see. I think there is a delay. So you know what? Let's set this to 0 and let's say jump 2. And just go here. Let's do jump 2. Okay, no need to make something too complicated because we can simply just create a new animation where we can control exactly what's going to be happening. Okay, so let's say jump 2. Now jump 2 does have some, of course, how do we say this? Well, let's do load action data 1 and let's say not load action data, let's say handle animation rules is interacting false. Okay, then jump 2, let's edit this and let's just have him start from here. So anything below that to change. Apart from, of course, the health box being open. And he should, of course, be up. But I think he should be going upwards. So let's do 0.3 or 25 here. So yeah, he does something like that. Okay, then I'm going to scale them up slightly. So let's see our curves. And on the Z. This needs to be set at 3, yeah. Something like this. Yeah, of course, these all are yeah, those are creative ways to do this. Okay, now I don't think we need to go more into this. Let's see what do we have wrong. We are changing the jump of the jump index. Okay, let's set this to true. Action data on hit jump 2. Yeah, jump 2 doesn't actually play. Which is weird. Yeah, because it's not jump 2 with the underscore. Okay, easy mistake to do. Okay, that's better. The only thing I don't like is that it actually ruins our velocity, so we should be able to be moving, at least have some value, or have some momentum that we can eliminate. That's the only thing I don't like. But on the other hand, I don't remember how the game is doing it, to be honest, so whatever. But yeah, that's actually kind of how it happens in the game as well. Like, you can do this. Okay, I think I like this. It's fine enough for what it is right now. So let's just disable these guys, agents, once they are dead. So to do that now, can easily do it here. So on knockdown front, once you're here, go here and say, oh no, we can't. We need to assign an animation event for this. So we're going to do public void. Let's just keep it simple, and we're going to do public void set is dead. So we're going to do, we have the owner, we do not have the owner. Well, we can do public bool is dead. Now we do need to know the owner. Well, anyway, that's, oh, we already have the set dead. Okay, let's say is dead callback. Then I'm going to find the unit controller, transform get component parent unit controller, and you know what, let's just say if u dot is dead, then u dot agent enabled equals false. Simple like that. So once he is stopping his frames, so here we're going to say is dead callback. So now we should be able to just move past him once they are dead. Okay, like nothing is happening. Of course, you can disable the bodies, and I think we just, yeah, I think we should just keep them closed like forever. Like, even if he's not, yeah, you know what, let's do that. Is that callback? Let's rename this to close agent. And let's do the same thing for open agent. Okay, and because we're going to be using this a lot, let's do unit controller owner, then on start owner get component parent unit controller. Okay, so we don't have to be checking for unit, we can just say owner agent enabled, and over here owner agent. Okay, then I think if you're not interacting, your agents will always be open. So that means on input handler, if you're not interacting, well, for the player, I'm going to leave it like that, but for the AI handler, Let's see if you're not interacting. Let's say agent controller dot agent dot enabled equals true. Okay, so if not, it's going to just control it via that. So now I only want to be able to set up the knockdown animation for him. So for example, knockdown front over here, change this to close agent, and on get up front you can actually enable it, let's say here, if you want. Okay, so you can move past them. Perfect. Now we have combos, we have a lot of things that are really useful. And we have some more animations that the game uses. And there's a few things that I want to fix. For example, we are sliding around. Once we're doing landing frames, we're sliding around because we have easy interacting to falls. So that needs a little bit more control. So to do that, let's do it via the animator hook. So we're going to be doing public void set is interacting, and I'm going to say status, and I'm using an integer because we cannot pass a bool through the animation events. So we're going to say animator set bool is interacting status equals if status equals 1. So that will allow us to load this. And another thing we can also do is say public void load action data. Okay, integer actions or action index, and we can do now owner dot load action data action index. So we have even more control. That's mostly for Mikey. So let's go on his animator and remove the is interacting and the load action data from both the jump cases. Then on to his animation, we're going to go onto the first jump, and we're going to say once you're here you are able to move around. So set interacting to 1, but once you are here you basically stop, and there will be a few frames that you are not moving around. Then once you are here you'll be able to load the action data of the jump attack. Okay, and since here you are unloading the interaction, so you're not really interacting, here you cannot play them anymore, so they will go back and reset. Same for jump 2. Then we're going to say we're going to actually move him with root motion now for this. So let's say we move him back. Right on the apex. So let's do this here. And we're going to assign an event. And we're going to say set interacting to 1 here. Okay, so over here you'll be set interacting. And on the same frame we can say load action data back again the jump animations. And then because we are now start to move, over here we could say set interacting to false. What I don't like is how you stop, of course. So let's try giving him a little bit more movement. Let's see how that will behave. Okay, so let's see how this works. So let's try this out. Okay, we have some issues. Mainly those, they are not loading. Okay, let's try our events. Let's do the first jump first. So jump here, you're doing set as interacting and load action data. Let's maybe load the action data before us. Okay, then load action data. Load action data is setting the actions index to 0. Okay. Let's do feedback.log status equals 1. Okay, so now this one actually blocks us. And why is that? I don't know. Yeah, because it's set to 1. We actually want the opposite. We did it the opposite way. So the on jump here, this will be 0, so we're not interacting here, which means we can move around, and we are interacting here because it plays a few frames. Okay, the same with this. Then here it should be back to on. Perfect. Now we should have the control we need. Let's try it. Still wrong. See why. Jump to. Oops. Why this is false? This will be false. Jump, and then on jump 1. It's like we didn't save them. I don't know if it was because we weren't recording or if it was a bug. Okay. Let's see. Okay, that works. Okay, I don't like the fallback. But at least we have control. Okay, then, okay. Let's check on jump 2. Jump 2. Let's have him have, yeah, let's have him have control over here. Set that up. Here we can stack up the actions. So the action data is at 1 and set interacting to 0 here. So up till here you should be jumping back. And maybe make it faster, it doesn't matter. Perfect. Kind of don't like that he's stopping very fast. Yeah, whatever. You know what? Let's go with that. Doesn't matter. We have it working. And of course, we need to we need to bring back the enemies. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. But that's actually how it works. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, okay. Let's end this part over here because we now have all the control we need for our player. Except there is also one more attack method, which is the bounce, where we do not have it for our player or for our enemy. And it's going to be the same attack actually. So let's do one more thing before we go. Okay, we are running a little bit over time, but whatever. We want to change the damage, the unit on hit, damage type, the definitions for them, and we're going to add a bounce. Okay, bounce is simply going to be sending them up. Okay, then let's do case damage type dot bounce break. Break for that, break for this. And I'm simply going to just say bounce because I don't think it matters which side you're on. And for the enemy, let's do and knockdown front. Let's duplicate that and let's call it bounce. Let's drop that in and it will transition back to get up front. 1 0. Let's just do x time by 3. Okay, then animation on the bounce. So instead of going backwards like this, you're actually going to be going a little bit backward. And we're going to be changing the frames faster. So you're going to be not going backwards at all. For the tag, see where this is. I think this is it. Yeah, let's actually delete all of them. I will make them again. So the idea is we're going up and only slightly backwards. Over here, that would be like 0.4 maybe. That's too much. Let's do 0.2 from this one should be discuss this. Does this has an animation? It doesn't. Okay. Then over here, I think this will be the apex. So this one should go away. This one should fix first. We'll start changing. I'll maybe add a little bit more to this. Oh, this needs to go fast. Although he's getting up from here as well, so I guess this can work as well. And let's have him jump a little bit, like one frame up. And then settle down here as well. Okay, we can give him a little bit more room to fall. So we're just going to make it like that. Okay, let's set up the curve. And let's fix this curve like that. Okay, basically need to fix this one. 3, 1 will already be free. This one probably fall more linear, and on the right side it should be free. On the right side it will actually be linear. Okay, I think I like this to be bigger, be higher, because it's a bounce, so he should have more air time. It's a little bit frantic there. Let's see if we remove this, maybe we can get a cleaner result. Yeah, I think I like that. Yeah, that's not bad. Let's go with that. Obviously this is really artistic, so just do your worst and you can fix it. Okay, so only thing I'm going to change is basically, oh no, let's do one more thing. We need to be closing and enable his hitbox, because you might want to have him bounce for a bit more frames. For example, I'm going to close it here, but I'm going to enable the hitbox. Going to enable the hitbox maybe about here. So I can just keep attacking him and he will bounce up. Okay, so on the player actions, on the up attack, I'm going to change this to bounce. Yeah, the second bounce didn't work because he's going down too fast. So we should have been able to juggle him. Let's maybe set this like 4. Yeah, he's going down too fast. Let's slow him down a bit. And I'm going to enable the hitbox from here, just because. Yeah. Let's see it by numbers. So up attack is ending on 30. So there's no way you can actually hit it. let's make it at 20. So from 21 up on his bounce, 21 up, we should now be able to actually juggle him. Okay, so whatever happens on this case, I'm going to end the part now. You can play around with the frames and setting those up. Not sure if we have anything else that might be blocking this, but let's say I'm going to do the jump attacks or the up attack with just attack and not deterministic, just so that we can see if we can juggle him. I'm really curious if that's the case. Yeah, we can't juggle him. We should have been able to juggle him. So that probably is something we are blocking. So let's see. Oh, yeah, I know what it is. He cannot play the same animation actually. So that means we need to assign a crossfade time to the bounce. So let's do 0.1f. Either that or you're doing a second bounce, whichever will work. Okay, but basically this is it. Okay, only one thing I'll change is if he's dead, then ignore. Perfect. But if he's dead and delta action, if you damage type cell, unless if damage type dot let's see, if damage type is not damage type dot bounce, then change it to heavy. Okay, only then. Let's change his attack to 10, so it only needs 3 hits now. Okay, so he's dead, but he's going on the get up because we forgot to set the is dead. Perfect. Let's try this once more and we are done. Perfect. That's pretty cool. Okay, so now not only we have combos and more attacks for Mikey, we actually have more behaviors on the enemies. And it's actually all the behaviors we need for this. We don't need anything else. So that will be it for this part. So, as always, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and if you like to see more stuff, more videos, more series, more of everything, then of course, consider supporting me or keep supporting me. If you're seeing this, you probably already are. Then, so we can basically just keep making all these nice things we're making. I'll see you on the next one where we're going to add more attacks and more enemies. Toodaloo.